So I just made a video a few hours ago, and I think YouTube kind of gradually brought it down on its. It was going nutty. I think in like 40 minutes it had been viewed like 25,000 times on the shorts, and then within like an hour and 45 minutes it had been viewed like 40,000 times, and it was just climbing like crazy. And so many people were getting so emotional in the comment section and saying all this crazy stuff. I said, I kind of made a short showing a vehicle that I was working on. This lady consistently brings it into the dealership all the time, and it ain't got no fuel in it. One of the times it came in where multiple modules were down, the vehicle wasn't running right. I had to drive the vehicle for a long time. I had to have the lady come back, grab the vehicle, go put fuel in it. And I had asked her, I said, if it would be nice that when you bring this vehicle in, because of the amount of problems it's having, and I have to have this thing running when I'm programming certain modules like the sync, it'll tell you to turn it on, so both network lines will open up, one running, one not running, and both of them have to be on whenever you're programming for certain situations. Sometimes this vehicle will sit here for an hour and run while I'm programming, and a lot of times I'll have to take multiple test drives to figure out if it's something that I adjusted or fixed, especially when you have multiple concerns going on at one time. It's not me just driving it once. I'll fix something, go for a drive, then come back, fix something else, go for a drive, try to have somebody ride with me when I'm verifying little squeaks and taps and rattles and things like that. And a lot of people got emotional in that video because I was like, guys, 20 seconds in didn't really explain anything. I got all in their feelings and stuff like that. And they're like, well, the reason we don't put fuel in the car when we drop it off is because we don't want people joyriding it. I know that stuff's happened. But if you take your bias and apply it to every single thing that happens to you in life, you're never going to get anywhere in life. You're going to be a sorry person that's always miserable, worried about every single thing that happens. So going through life and saying, well, you know what? I'm just not going to put fuel in it because I'm afraid somebody's going to joyride it because of something I've seen on TV, or my friend's brother, sister, Tiffany, blah, 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 said this or that. Stop. Knock it off with the nonsense, okay? If you got a loop if you're going in for just like an oil change or something like that, or it's not a well-known shop, you might run into issues like that. But if you're coming to a dealership or a big independent shop, or an independent shop that has a name for themselves that's run very well, you don't have to worry about that stuff there, because those types of people aren't working there. All right. And when I get your vehicle, typically if I see your vehicle, it's something major is wrong, and I'm going to need that vehicle with at least a quarter tank of fuel. It's a 3/4 tank of fuel. One of the reasons for that is when we run evap tests, if you can't go past your emissions test or something, and a purge valve or something is failing, or I have to replace or test something on your emission system, I have to have that vehicle between a quarter tank and 3/4 tank of fuel, or to be exact, 15%, 85% fuel, or else I can't run that test efficiently. The computer just won't let me do it. So when you bring it to me and you want me to fix your stuff, and I fix it, but I can't run the test to clear the monitor so you can go drive it for a little while before you got to go take your test to make sure all monitors come back online, that's also a problem. The reason that is because that vehicle has to be driven under certain criteria. It'll say multiple times go up to this speed, then gradually slow down, and then do this up to this speed, and then gradually slow down, and then do this. And if you're wanting me to take it through that drive cycle, I might be out for 45 minutes to an hour driving that vehicle just to clear all those monitors so you can go pass your emissions test. There's a lot of things that we would have to have your vehicle for, with between a quarter tank and 3/4 tank of fuel, in order to work on the vehicle. And if I have to put fuel in your vehicle, it's going to cost you more, because now I have to have a porter come up, grab your vehicle. I have to unlock the fuel station. I have to pull out the paperwork and stuff to annotate where the fuel and stuff is going and how much of it's going in it. Then we have to generate a bill to staple to your repair order. It's probably going to cost you 1.5 times the amount of fuel, if not 2 times the amount of fuel, because now you're taking somebody off of another job to do what you could have done had somebody educated you, or you cared enough to bring it in with that stuff, or with it having a decent amount of fuel in it so we can work on it appropriately. It's not just somebody wants to joyride your vehicle. There were so many people that said, oh, this and that, I know this person or whatever. I don't care. All that stuff is not important to me. I understand that you know those things, and those things have happened to people, but I'm not those people, and your situation at that current time is not that situation. So if you treated every single situation in life because somebody said, or you heard this, or at one time you experienced this, you'd never get a damn place in life. So let's knock the nonsense off. Let's think about the repair at hand and what's going on, and you're going to have your vehicle in a Master Tech, Senior Master Tech's hands, World Master, whatever it may be, whatever the manufacturer is, and have a little decency and trust them until they give you a reason to not trust them. Then there's a difference there. Then you go to another shop and you start clean and you trust them again until they give you a reason not to trust them. That's how life works. All the power comments from the keyboard warriors and stuff like that, I just get out of here. You guys ain't doing nothing. You're not going to do anything. You're not important when you're slamming your fingers down on your phone and stuff like that, trying to prove a point. There's the rest of the real world out here that still has to operate outside of you. So that's why we would need fuel in the vehicle, and that's why I ask you to stop bringing your vehicle into the shop with no fuel in it on E. Y'all have a blessed day. I hope you take care, and I hope this explains things a little bit better for you. One more thing. One of the most important things for your fuel system is for there to be sufficient fuel in the tank so the fuel pump can stay cool. And if you're letting it drop low all the time and running it down on E, fuel pump can't stay cool. This is bad for the fuel system. You should know that by now. That's like driver's ed or whatever, 101. Keep fuel in your vehicle. At least 1/8 of a tank, 1/4 tank or above. Preferably 1/4 or above. Letting it drop low all the time is not healthy for the fuel system. Especially when we're trying to check for evap codes and leaks and stuff like that. Be blessed. Again, take care.